Today I want to talk to you about building a pantry. I want to start with reasons why you would build a pantry. Um, the last couple of weeks I've been really considering what Donald Trump said. President Trump made the comment that we were going into another Great Depression. And I think about, hearing my parents, grandparents talk about the Great Depression and how things were rationed and food was not available, things were not available. So I think about, if we're really going into another Great Depression, wouldn't it be wonderful to have enough stuff on your shelf to last a long time? And you would have to just buy a minimal amount of stuff. So that would be one really good reason to stock a pantry. But even if that doesn't happen, you know, if we've been shown anything recently, we've been shown that weather events can happen. And I mean, the folks up in East Tennessee mountains and in Western North Carolina mountains are still having problems. Y'all may have noticed that I posted today from Empowered Cotton County, where they're still asking for food and things for the folks there in Cotton County that are homeless. Or even if they're not homeless, they're struggling to get by. So, and then, you always have the possibility of losing a job or having a health issue. I mean, my husband had surgery twice last year. And, I just I don't even have to go to the grocery store. I mean, seldom do I go to the grocery store. And so it's wonderful to have a good stocked pantry. And so those are some real good reasons why you would want to stock a pantry. But where do you begin? So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is to know how to stock a pantry. And the first thing I'm going to suggest that you do is build a 2-week menu. And the reason I say 2 weeks is because, we don't want to repeat the same menu over and over and over for 1 week. And so it's good if you've got enough variety that you could do your menu for 2 weeks and only have to repeat it twice in a month. And so build your menu. And if you want to build out a menu for a whole month, you could. And then the next thing that you're going to need to do is write down all the ingredients, including oil, including spices, whatever you would need in order to cook everything on your menu. Make a list of every bit of the ingredients. And then once you've got that list of ingredients done, then you're going to need to inventory your pantry, because you want to make sure that you don't, well, it wouldn't hurt if you went ahead and bought everything on the list. You could do that, but you might end up having things go bad in your things that you've got in your pantry. You might have some stuff to go bad if you did that. So it's good to have an inventory of your pantry all the time anyway, so you know what you've got on hand. And once you've done all of that, then, make you a grocery list, or make you a list of things that you're going to need for stocking that pantry. And, begin by stocking enough to last you a week. And, you can select from your 2 weeks of meals, you could select enough to build enough to last 1 week. I know that during Hurricane Helene, a week's supply of food would have been a wonderful thing for the people that were in the danger zones. And don't forget to add water and, drinks to that, because they did not have municipal water. And so you would need to have a way to get, to have good, clean drinking water. And not just drinking water, but water to cook with and water to, use for cleaning and other things. So then the thing that I have tried to teach people for years, now I've been married almost 50 years, within just a couple years, well, actually not even a couple years, to about a year and a half, I will have been married for 50 years. And I've always stocked a pantry, especially with my canned food. Now, when I do my canned food, I try to stock when I'm doing a canning project. I try to make sure that I've got enough produce. Like, say for instance, if I go and buy green beans, or if I grow green beans, I try to can enough of those green beans to last me for 2 years. The reason that I do that is because I learned many years ago that if we have a year where the produce just does not do good, and you'll have years like that when a certain crop just will not do well at all. And so I do enough to last 2 years. Now, that's with my home canned foods that I do that. So when you're building your pantry, start out with enough, though, to do a week, and then multiply. Determine how long you want your pantry items to last. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that they recommend 3 months, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, to have a 3-month supply of food, then if you had to be out for an illness, out off your job for an illness, most illnesses, if you're out of work for for a surgery, most of the time your recovery time is going to be, 6 weeks to 3 months. So that would get you through that period of time. But, like for instance, my husband just had a knee replacement. And on most jobs, that would have put him out of work for 3 to 6 months. So just make sure that you think about what length of time you want your pantry to last. Now, if we were to have a depression, it might be wise to have enough in your pantry to last for a year or 2 years. But in a situation like that, you would need to start growing your own food or find some sources. Now, I mentioned that I buy some of my produce. I do grow some, but I have become friends with many farmers in my area. We have a pretty good agricultural area here in East Tennessee, and so I have developed a relationship with a lot of these farmers, and they'll call me and say, I've got green beans, or I've got tomatoes, or whatever, sweet potatoes. And then I've also joined a network, a co-op in my area, where we purchase from some local Mennonites, and then I also I purchase from Azure Standard. And so, make sure you've got multiple sources to get your food, because we have a just-in-time system in our grocery stores, and if that were to break down, our grocery stores would be depleted in one day. Now, if you don't understand what that means that grocery stores don't have a big stockpile in the back room like they did years ago. It means that those trucks arrive daily or every other day to deliver the food, and if those trucks don't come, if that system breaks down some way, then the grocery store is going to be empty. So make sure that you figure out how long you want your stockpile to last, and then start buying those items. And one thing that I've done for as long as I can remember, I make my grocery list if I'm going to the grocery store, which I don't do much anymore, but make a grocery list. And then once you've bought the things that you know you're going to need from your list, if you still have money left in your budget for your groceries, look at the sale items and see if there's anything on the sale items that you regularly use. For example, peanut butter. That's a big one in my house. I keep multiple jars of peanut butter on the shelf. And so if peanut butter's on sale, excuse me, you can bet that I'm going to be buying several jars of peanut butter. And another thing that I always look at, if I find a good deal on meat, chicken especially, I haven't found a good sale on chicken in a long time, but if I find a good sale on chicken, I'm going to stock up. I mean, a few years ago, I bought, it was over $300 worth of chicken at one time, and I canned it all. So look at things like that. And so, if you go to the grocery store and they've got something on sale that's normally $4 and you can get it for, $3, then if you buy, say you buy 4 of them, well, you've saved $4 on your next grocery bill. So then there's an extra $4 from your next grocery bill that you could add to something else. And you'll be amazed at how fast you will grow your pantry. So give me ideas. If you've got things that you do already for growing your pantry, tell me what you're doing. And until next time, God bless you.